do you create out of that? Like so much of this.
We know what to do. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to cut you off, but we know what is good offense on our team, and we know what's not, and we didn't do it today. And that's on us. That's on me. That's on everybody.
I guess, around that, you know, Kyle scoreless, Torian scoreless.
Yeah, they don't.
One shot.
It's hard to score when you don't touch the ball. I mean, no offense. Kyle got 2 shots in the first half, both with 2 seconds on the shot clock. So, like, Kuzma can play, but we got to involve him, and we got to make sure we keep him involved.
So I guess, is that? I mean, it would appear like that's an off day adjustment, because clearly you went to a different unit to end the game. I mean, the bench group. So I guess what were you seeing in game that you felt that was the
we finished a lot with lately? You know, the Bobby. So we didn't do anything different, but that's a lineup that has created offense for us. But I really thought the second unit came on the floor, the entire second unit, and I thought that's what got us moving the ball again. You know, and then the starters came back in, and they saw how we were playing, and they joined in. So there's some really good things to take from this game. There's some things that we have to make adjustments to, and then there's just things we just can't do that we know better. And so it's probably all 3 buckets for us.
Was that just too many consecutive minutes? Like KPJ, I think, came in just under 8 in the third, finished. AJ just under 6 in the third, finished. But was that too long of a stretch, though, for that group to go a quarter and a half effectively, though?
I don't know. You look at their plus minus, it's pretty good. You know, you look at the starters plus minus. So, you know, it's one game, you know, and we've had a week off. So, no, I don't. I think sometimes you stick with your group.
Speaking to the starters plus minus, is that a lineup that you feel like with a tweak can still be viable in this series?
We're better off. We've done it. We're better offensive unit than that. But, like, we have to be that, though. And the only way that lineup can play well off it, they need more ball movement than the other one. The other lineup, we have guys that can go downhill and create plays. The first lineup, we have to move the ball to get shots for everybody else.
Defensively, you guys gave up some switches onto Siakam. Is that something that you're comfortable with? Like,
yeah, I mean, some of them obviously you don't want, but overall, I'm very comfortable with it. A lot of those are in zone. So those are things you can look at and figure out how he got to the places he got to, and take those away.
I'm sure you'd take I know Tyrese created with double-digit assists, but I think he only had 2 shots, you know, through the first quarter, and wasn't involved that way through. You know, what did you like about Ryan starting and the way the team defended him?
I thought defensively we're pretty good. I still thought Tyrese or Halliburton still made plays, though. You know, he's an interesting kid because he's more than just a scorer. And on the nights that he sees that they're taking stuff away, he's smart enough to feel that night and just make plays for his teammates. I thought he was very happy doing that. You know, he's a point guard. And I thought he had a hell of a game personally. Even though he didn't score, he still got everybody involved. And that's just as dangerous.
Obviously, Nebhart got out on the run in transition, but also in the half court, he was getting downhill or getting to his jumper. Just how can you maybe
just guard
execute better against that?
We just got to guard it better. You know, we allowed too many middle drives overall through the game. Not just Nebhart, but everybody. He's going to make a couple twos, and you know, honestly, we'll live with the twos. You know, we shot 37 threes, but we're 9 for 37. But the numbers they're a liar. That like the 37 threes, 25 of them, the passes are too late. You know, you're open and then you're not open, and then we throw it. You know, so we
matchup in the East, Knicks against the Pistons, then LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers clashing with Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves in the nightcap. Welcome in CBS Sports HQ NBA analyst John Gonzalez. Start with the first game of the day on Saturday. Bucks and Pacers meeting in back-to-back years. Last year, no Giannis, and the Pacers won in 6 games. They've got Giannis this year, but Dame not cleared for game 1. John, how will Dame's absence impact the Bucks?
Not helpful. I mean, it's already going to be difficult even with Dame, right? Because, look, the Bucks last year, as you mentioned, they didn't have Giannis. They're a first-round exit. This year, they had a full season of Dame and Giannis. And Dame, I thought, a lot of people thought that maybe Dame was washed. absolutely incorrect. He had an awesome season. He's been excellent. But even when both of those guys have shared the floor, Akeem, still not a very good basketball team and a not very good conference, right? Middle of the pack, you're in a 4-5 matchup again when you have Giannis, who's going to be a top 3 MVP finalist. He's going to finish third after the main 2, SGA and Joker, and he's going to make first team All-NBA again. And that's just wasting the prime years of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And imagine, just think about the pressure and the expectations game, right? It's all on the Bucks. They're facing a first-round exit for the 3rd year in a row. And what happens if they go out again? All of a sudden, it's going to be questions about Doc Rivers, questions about John Horst, and then Giannis. At some point, Giannis is going to look around and go, what am I doing? I could go somewhere else and maybe win, whereas the other side, the Pacers, they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They're the 4 seed this year. Halliburton is going to be in consideration for All-NBA. Pascal Siakam's been good. Rick Carlisle is just a good, solid coach. Indiana is just a professional basketball team with no drama, no expectations, always playing with house money because nobody expects anything from them. And then on the other side, it's the Bucks.
I just don't want to see Giannis being asked if this season was a failure. Because I don't want to see that again. Like, it was an amazing answer last year, but, like, you got to finish it. You got to at least get on to the first, out of the first round here. Like, you got to, like, yes, in some aspects, the season is a failure if you lose in the first round. In other aspects, it's a grind. You learn things about your team, maybe perhaps about yourself, but this is a situation where Giannis has the pieces around him to go deep.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're Giannis and you're a first round out 3 years in a row after winning an NBA championship, I'm sorry. I get what you're saying. Like, there's part of it is the journey and the friends we meet along the way and all of that nonsense. You're Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't think it's on him. He's been an absolute monster over the last however many months of the season, the entire season, really. But at some point, you have to look at your team and your organization and what pieces that you have to move around, how you can potentially improve and go, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it done here. And I think, look, he hasn't exactly put to bed rumors about potentially moving on to a different organization. And at some point, he's going to look at this thing critically and go, it was really fun here. I enjoyed my time in Milwaukee. If I can't get out of the first round again, get me to someplace where I can.
That game tips off 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Next game takes us to Denver. Clippers and Nuggets matched up in the playoffs for the first time since the Clippers blew a 3-1 series lead to Denver inside the bubble. This season, Nikola Jokic had one of the best seasons of his Hall of Fame career, 3rd player in NBA history to average a triple-double in a season. Do you believe the Clippers can contain Jokic just enough to win this series?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, they're a slight betting favorite here. This is going to be an absolute gangbusters of a series because, again, when we're talking about pressure and expectations, all of the pressure and all of the expectations is in Denver. Nobody expected anything from the Clippers. They've just had a really nice season, quietly so, right? Kawhi Leonard, who has been often injured, often unavailable, didn't start the beginning of the season. Nobody expected the Clippers to do anything. Well, all of a sudden, here comes James Harden, who had been much maligned, had an excellent season. Ivica Zubac, who maybe some people don't realize how good he is, core of that defense, probably going to make all defense. Ty Lue has done a great coaching job, should get some consideration for Coach of the Year, won't win it, but has just done a remarkable job. They're stable. The Clippers, Hakeem, are a stable organization.
It's all those toilets.
And then you go, yeah, it's the new building, the Intuit Dome. Everybody's having a good time there. And then you look at the Denver Nuggets, who have a championship 2 years ago, and they're anything but stable. They fire their head coach and their general manager right before the playoffs. The supporting cast around Joker has been inconsistent at best between MPJ and Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon. You're looking at Christian Brown and Russ for help. And then, as you mentioned, Joker is averaging a triple-double, could be, maybe not will be, but could be the MVP this season. It has said he's playing the best basketball of his life. He's trying to drag this corpse of an organization into the second round. It's going to be a fantastic series.
That game 3:30, game 1 on